One of the insider secrets that I'm going to be speaking about on this Thursday's free Badass Millionaire webinar, 2 p.m. Eastern this Thursday. You can sign up below at worldbuildingwebinar.com. You're invited to attend. There's no cost. If you don't want to attend, no worries. It's for a very select type of businessman, and one of the topics, insider secrets, that I'm going to be revealing in my 31 years in the entrepreneurial trenches, my 22 years as a professional and amateur championship hockey coach, team owner, and also the last decade working with some very elite top 1% businessmen under the hood of over 2,000 businesses in today's economy and world. I'm going to be talking about something that I call separation luck. And basically the bottom line concept is, you as a businessman want to become known as the luckiest man on earth. And the principle is, one of my beliefs is that I believe in luck. I believe that you make your own luck. I believe that you manufacture your own luck. And through my 31 years in business, pro sport, amateur sport, and as a coach consultant, is the harder and more consistent I work on a day-to-day basis, the no days off, dedicating, an hour to this, an hour to that, writing, reading, training, copywriting, spending time with my daughter, spending time with my wife. The more time I invest daily with no days off on the really big important things, not the urgent, the important, the luckier I become to those around me. And to me, I always grin and smile when people always accuse me of, well, he's a really lucky guy, or he's had all the breaks, or you are an overnight success. And I always smile at the 31 years, the 22 years in pro sport, and the 10 years working under the hood of thousands of businesses. I'll take that label any day. He's the luckiest guy I know. He's caught all the breaks, and he's always in the right place. Things come easy to him, and I'll always take that labeling, overnight success. The 99% simply don't see behind the scenes. They haven't put in the work. They haven't dedicated to the process of getting 1% better every single day. So they don't understand that the harder you work on a daily basis, the luckier you get. They don't understand the concept that you can actually manufacture and make your own luck. And for you to be called lucky, for you to be called fortunate, for you to be called, an overnight success, it's the ultimate feather in your cap. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about this Thursday on my top 10 world building badass secrets. I'm going to go through the 10 secrets, the most important secrets to building any world. So if you're tired of living a life of quiet desperation, if you're tired of living with other people's agendas, if you're tired of waking up every morning and playing defense instead of offense, if you're tired of lack of wealth or lack of independence, lack of control, or lack of autonomy, and you want to put your stake in the ground for your own personal sovereignty, that it's about time that you started living life and doing business on your own terms, then this Thursday's free training is exactly what the surgeon ordered. I'm going to go through the 10 principal secrets that I've used here in the last 52 days since we moved from Canada to Naples, to a brand new country, brand new state, brand new community, brand new school, brand new horse riding barn, brand new chess teachers, you name it, tennis coaches, and how we've rebuilt and reestablished a brand new world in this brand new country. And my wife is thriving here, my daughter is thriving here, and I'm thriving here after moving my 3 businesses to a brand new country in less than 21 days. I'm going to show you how to build a world, a personal world with boundaries, with rules, with laws, so that you can not only be rich in money, but also rich in time. But one of the things that I'm going to really pinpoint is this mysterious luck that people talk about all the time. And really, that's what it comes down to. The harder you work, the smarter you work, the luckier you will become. There's a great story about Connor McDavid, arguably the best player in the National Hockey League right now, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid was the #1 pick a few years ago, and they were doing a story. They were interviewing his parents last year, and I caught it on ESPN, and they were talking to his mom and his dad, and his mom and his dad were talking about the passion that Connor had for the game of hockey, where, you know, some kids will go out on the driveway and play street hockey for half an hour after school, and some kids will, you know, take the nets out and play a little bit, and most kids get excited about going to the rink for practice and especially games. But Connor McDavid was on a totally different level from the age of 5, and that goes back to my teachings about obsession. He was absolutely, positively obsessed with the game of hockey. And they noticed this early, so as the quality parents they were, they supported this obsession, and they managed this obsession, and they gave him a chance to do important things with the game. They gave him a chance to, you know, get his schooling paid if that was the route he was going to go. They gave him an opportunity to eventually play for money, and now I think Connor McDavid is in the $12.5 million US per year. He's the highest paid player in the NHL, and he's only 24 years old. But what most people don't see, the 99% people that say, you know, he's the most talented guy, there's no question that he's got blue chip talent. But here's where you separate yourself, like the Jordans, like the Kobes, like the Sidney Crosbys, like the Wayne Gretzkys, the Steve Jobs. You know, it doesn't matter if it's music or art or business. Here's where you separate. It's separation season, when you see what these guys do on a daily basis when nobody is watching. So the story of Connor McDavid, told by his mom and his dad, is that as a child, age 5 and up, so until he left home when he was 17, he used to shoot. He had they'd buy him a red carton full of hockey pucks, and his mom said they could put 85 pucks in the carton. And it's just like this right here, where he had a red net, and his dad put the net up against the garage, and he had a piece of plexiglass down here that he would use to shoot the pucks off, and a stick, and he had a crate here with 85 pucks. And his dad said that on average, from the age of 5 up, he used to shoot 7 days a week over 500 pucks per day. That was going easy. 500 pucks per day. On the weekends, he'd shoot more than that. So that's 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, all the way up until he was 18 years old, shooting 500 hockey pucks a day, working on his shot. So that's 500 pucks times 7 days. Okay, so 3,500 pucks per week times 52 weeks times, give or take, 10, 12 years. Now, Connor McDavid has one of the best shots in the National Hockey League. He leads the NHL every year in scoring. He's got multiple MVP league awards and all that good stuff. 500 pucks a day. And it was interesting, the story, how Team Canada was playing. They were hosting the World Championships, the World Cup, 3 years ago, and the tournament was being held in Toronto. So you had Team USA, you had Team Canada, Team Finland, Team Czechoslovakia, Team Russia, and this is the best of the best on the best. So Connor McDavid is from Newmarket, which is an area in Toronto. So one day during the tournament, his dad and mom were sitting out on the back, and this is in the dead summer. I mean, it's in August before the regular season starts, and he's playing in this tournament. And his parents hear this pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding. And at the time, Connor is like 20 years old. He's playing for the Oilers. He's won Rookie of the Year, all that great stuff. And his mom and dad go out to the garage to see what all the noise is. And here's McDavid. Okay, he's got the old sheet of plastic out. He's got the garage door, and this garage door is beat to shit. I mean, beat to shit. And here he is in the heat on a practice. They're not playing. That Team Canada isn't playing that day. And what is McDavid doing? He's shooting pucks, cartons of pucks. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, shooting pucks, shooting pucks, shooting pucks out there by himself. Now, how many multi-million-dollar athletes are doing that on an off day in a World Cup tournament at their parents' house between games? Now, of course, it's easy to say, well, you know, Connor McDavid is a huge talent. He's a generational talent for sure. But it's the work ethic that connects this all together. It's what people don't see. And I've read about the greats, whether it's basketball, baseball, whatever it is, they've all put in that 10,000 hour mark and beyond. They've all hit that tennis ball 40,000 times. Pitching, batting, hitting. They've all put in the work when nobody was watching. And that's when you get to that point where all of the breaks go your way. You become the luckiest person people know. But Connor McDavid, 500 pucks since the age of 5. He was probably earlier than that. Every single day, an absolute obsession with the sport and just shooting pucks and shooting pucks. I share this story with my skating group, and I share this with my hockey group to give kids today some reference of work ethic. Most of the kids that I work with, unfortunately, I mean, their practice is on a screen, right? They're playing video games, and they're inside on screens. If they're not at school, they're in on the couch. And when I tell this story, they just can't believe that somebody would go out on the driveway and shoot 500 pucks. They can't believe that somebody would hit 1,000 tennis balls a day. And it goes into business. I mean, if you're going to be a 7-figure earner, an 8-figure earner, you have to do the daily habits of a 7 and 8-figure earner. And there are no days off. There are no days off in the big leagues. So interesting to see young children, when I tell this story to them, how, they're just like, wow. I'm like, how much do you practice? And they're like, the only time they practice, a lot of kids now, the only time they practice something is when they're at it. So if they have a piano practice, the only time they play piano that week is when they're at the instructors. The only time that they're practicing tennis is when, they're with the instructor. Or the only time they're practicing the game of hockey or anything like that is when they are with the instructor. So that's a huge thing, because when you think about it, because my daughter Emery's in all those things, is we make a point for her to practice no less than 20 minutes per day, every single day. So if I'm going to pay for chess lessons, as an example, she's going to play 20 minutes of chess every single day, because that's the only way you can enjoy the game. You can't enjoy things if you're not good at them. So that's a big thing. And some days she'll practice for an hour. But as far as piano and different things like that, what's the point of parents paying for these things if the children are not going to learn the discipline of daily practice? Practice is so critical. And how are children supposed to get good at things? How are we supposed to master things? How are we supposed to make our own luck when we're not putting in the daily work? So that's one of the things. That's Connor McDavid's story, is one that I tell my players. It's one that I was just wowed when I heard that, because really it breaks it down to 500 repetitions a day, 7 days a week, for 10, 12 years. And here he is as an adult, when he has a few moments, and what's he doing? He's out there working on his craft, Mastering his craft, mastering his craft. Same as Kobe. I was watching a video on YouTube the other day, and Kobe was saying when he was playing for the Lakers in his prime, he said that his off season consisted of 4 months of 1,000 shots a day. 1,000 shots. That doesn't even include the time with Tim Grover as his strength coach. We're talking on his own in the off season for 4 months, 1,000 shots per day. How many pro players or could be pro players do you think have that level of passion, obsession, and commitment to their craft? Very, very few, about 1%. So I'm going to talk more about this and the importance of mastering your craft and how it's not about, tiny sprints. It's not about doing something for 3 hours and then taking 5 days off. It's about doing it every damn day. And I'm going to go deep on this on Thursday. Like I said, you're invited to attend. Whether you do or not doesn't change my life in the least. I put this training together because I've got so many questions about what is world building. How do you build your own world, Michael? When I buy a hockey team, I build a world. When I got married, I built a world. When I became a father, I built a world. When I went in the insurance business, I built a world. When we moved to Naples here, I built a world. When I started coaching, consulting, marketing, I built a world. When I opened up a barber shop from scratch, I built a world that people can enter, stay, can learn, can grow, and can become, part of your world. It's about having your laws, your rules, your standards, and it's about boundaries. And the companies that have been built like this are the most successful. The marriages that have been built like this are the most successful, and the lives that have been built like this are the most successful. And I'm talking 0.0001% here, men. This isn't top 1% stuff. This is next level stuff. I don't know about anybody that teaches this. I know companies like Apple and Disney. I know a handful of NFL teams that world build. I know great marketing minds like Dan Kennedy, who built his own world. I know, authors like Stephen King that built their own world. But as far as coaching it and teaching it, I don't know anybody that brings this to the table. So there's an opportunity there for that next level businessman, entrepreneur, father, husband, marketer this Thursday. So I think there's 75 lines. I don't really do that stuff. I don't know. Mark handles that. But I will be on there live for 70 minutes this Thursday at 2 o'clock. You can register below at worldbuildingwebinar.com. And at the very end of the webinar, I will stay on live and I will take questions and answers from people, attendees that are on the webinar. So there you have it. The big leagues this Thursday. If you're interested, apply below. If you're not, do not take somebody else's spot. I mean, this isn't the type of training where you sign up and you forget about it. You need to be serious about taking your business and your life to an extreme level of wealth, control, independence, freedom, and autonomy. Those aren't words for world builders. Those are badges of honor. That's how we identify. It's not something that we do. If you're a world builder, it's something that you live. It's in your blood, it's your DNA, it's who you are. It's not what you are, it's who you are. And it's about seamless living. It's about everything coming together under one. It's a country, it's a planet, it's a society, it's a universe, whatever you want to call it. I call it my world. And there is a way to do this properly, and there is a way not to do it properly. And I'll share my 10-step plan this Thursday. That's it for today. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.